Hello, wonderful people. Welcome back to my podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, so a little bit of news. My podcast is now on YouTube. I used to have it on Google Podcasts, but I received an email telling me that Google Podcasts was going to no longer be in service, so to submit to YouTube. So now we are on YouTube, and I am a little bit hesitant because I don't know how people will take the stories and everything. I'm hoping I will have positive interactions on YouTube, because I'm still trying to learn how to take the trolls and everything. So yeah, we're on YouTube. So if you are listening to this podcast on YouTube, hello, welcome. All 54 episode has been uploaded to YouTube, but I am conscious that not everyone is going to be able to go from the beginning. So let me just give you a small introduction to who I am. My name is Cynthia, but I go by Cynthish Bridget for my content creation. I am 26. I am a Congolese American. I moved to the States about 16 years ago. 16 years ago. And I studied politics, international relations. I have a master's degree in conflict and development studies. I'm interested in development in post-colonial countries. I don't know if I think that's the term, but my brain is fog right now. It's a little bit foggy. I've been fasting for a week, so I've been on a liquid diet, and I've been fasting through the church. So I don't know why I'm making this one. So my brain might be a little bit foggy. Okay, so welcome. This is a place for multicultural people. If you are a multicultural person, and that doesn't mean you have to be an ethnic background, but it's just like if you're interested in other people's cultures and in other people's point of view, you are more than welcome. I have expressed on multiple occasions how I have struggled with my identities and how to belong as a kid who come from a multicultural background and who have lived in different countries and everything. So this podcast, this channel, this community is just about making sense through things through different lenses. So if you're a person who views things as black or white, this is not your community. I can honestly tell you, this is not your community. Thank you for coming, but please leave, because if you stay, you might get offended and you might be nasty, and this is not the community for that. This is where different ideas get talked about. We talk about current events through different lenses. So if you're open-minded, please stay. Please enjoy this community. Comment. Send constructive criticism. Just don't be a critic. Be a constructive critic. Okay. Another thing that you're gonna find out about this podcast is that I don't edit it, so I usually send it out the way I recorded it. A, because I don't know how to edit, and B is because honestly because I just find like this is therapeutic for me. I just find it therapeutic to think my ideas through, and for you as a follower or as a listener to kind of understand, to kind of go through the ideas with me, right? So I'm taking you on the ride. So enjoy it. Please enjoy it. So y'all, let's get to the topic of today. Did y'all watch this documentary about Jennifer Penn or Jennifer Pan, right? Did you guys watch it? If you did, I'm going to use her story to make an analysis of what I want to talk about today, right? So today I'm going to talk about the psyche of being a child immigrant. So you can be a child immigrant. You can be a child immigrant, like you migrated as a child, or you are, or your parents, or you're a first generation American, or first generation Canadian, first generation Australian, whichever countries that you're from. So I have realized throughout my own personal life why I never really clicked with non-immigrant communities. Like, I would click with them on a very like surface level, but not on a deep level. And personally, I always went back to me being a child immigrant, right? My identity as a child immigrant makes me a black sheep, right? Because after we moved to the United States and you are in a classroom with Black, Hispanics, and all of that, for the people who are talking about, for example, they're talking about race in America, race in this, race in that, and all that. For you, as a child of an immigrant, you're like, my mama told me to come to school and study and shut the hell up. That's literally the reaction you have. You are like, so you are confronted between trying to integrate into this country and becoming part of this country when you have your parents constantly reminding you that, hey, this is not our country, so you better behave. This is not our country, so you better behave. You can't act like they act. You cannot talk like they talk. If you get in trouble, there's this fear like you might get deported or something. So you have to be on your best behavior. So you see a kid cussing and you're like, oh, kids can cuss at a teacher here? Okay, but your stupid ass know, if you try that, your immigrant family is going to beat your ass when you go home. So as a child, you're like, I am never going to belong to this country because what my peers are talking about does not translate to my experience. On top of being a Black kid and having to succumb to what Black children go through, there's another pressure of being a child of an immigrant, right? Or a migrant child. You have to be on your best behavior. You have to get straight A's because your parents are coming from a country where they're like, hey, you have access to education. They guilt trip you every single day, reminding you, there are kids your age who are like slaves now, right? If we were back home, you would not be having the privilege that you have here, right? So you're constantly walking in guilt. You're constantly like operating in this survivor's guilt as a child. So it's really hard to integrate when there's so much pressure on you to understand that you are lucky. And you don't even get this idea of like, you are lucky from not just the locals, right? You get it from your parents who are like, you are lucky to be here. You can't act up. You can't mess up. You have to be on your best behavior. They put pressure on you for everything. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you present yourself. You are not just representing yourself, you're representing your family, you're representing your background, you're representing other immigrants. So you can't mess up. And that pressure is the reason why I've been in therapy for 10 years. Oh Lord, it's the reason why I've been in therapy for 10 years. Do you guys think that when we're having race conversation at schools, when I went home to explain to my mother, like, hey, this person called me a coon, they called me, they said that they said that was white passing, they're being dismissive of me, blah, 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 blah. Do you think my mother understood that? My mother is an immigrant. She was like, oh my God, we are in a country where we're making money right now. Like, ignore them. There was no outlet for me to discuss what was going on outside of my home. And then at school, there was no outlet for me to discuss what was going on in my house. So I was literally like, you feel like you are on an island with no country, with no community, when you are not being understood from either side. So I understand Jennifer Penn, right? Now, that doesn't mean she should have gone and killed her parents. Although, okay, you know what? I'm not going to say this part because I don't want my mother to hear me and then cuss me out and put curses on me for the rest of my life. So we're not going to say that part out. But can you just imagine being like, one of my coworkers was a Chinese American and I speak Chinese. And I was like, oh, and I was trying to speak Chinese to her. And then she's like, girl, I don't speak Chinese. I'm like, oh, how so? She's like, when her family came here, the best way they thought that they could integrate was to kind of erase the Chinese identity through their kids, right? So they never taught them Chinese. In order for them to integrate, they needed to get rid of so their kids could not speak Chinese. They didn't want people to look at them like they did not belong because they would have an accent. Because people were looking at them weird for having an accent. So as children of Chinese immigrants, they were like, oh, we are the first generation that has to integrate in this. And the best gift that their parents thought that they could give them was to not put them into this scenario of being told that you don't belong here. And trust me, when it comes to accents, I'm a victim, child, because I have accent in every language that I speak. My accent betrays me. Like, I am American as the next person, but because I have an accent, people are like, are you sure you're American? And be like, yeah. You don't sound like it. I'm like, what do Americans sound like? Because I've been to Texas and I heard Texans speak. I could not understand what they were saying either. So you, as a child, you're confronted with so many things. And then you have, not only, you are lonely. You are lonely. You will never be able to fit in. Because in my house, I did not have an outlet to tell, hey, mom, this person are being mean to me because I'm African. They're making monkey noises at me, blah, 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 blah. She did not understand the problem. She did not know that was a problem. She did not understand that it was hurting my feeling. She couldn't. And then at school, my quote-unquote American friends will not understand what it's like to take your African mother to doctor's appointments and being an interpreter, not having a life of your own. You are in charge of the house and everything. You are basically the accountant, the manager. You're making things run because they don't speak English. So you are the representative of your country, of your family. They won't understand that. They don't understand that pressure. So being a child of an immigrant is a very lonely experience. Because you are trying to understand your local community, knowing them well, they will never understand you. They will never understand what you're going through. When I first told my friend in college what I was going through, they thought, I remember I told this girl that I had depression. She busted out laughing. She's like, girl, you don't look like you have depression. I'm like, thanks. But I felt like I had depression for a long time. She did not know. My friends did not know that, I was going to therapy for years. Because you have to uphold a look. Especially when you come from an immigrant house. You have to upload a look. You cannot look weak. You have to show that you're proud. You have to show that, yes, immigrants Especially if you're an African immigrant. Yes, African immigrants are smart too. We are capable too. We're strong too. We're this too. But inside, you're like, Jesus, there's no one to listen to me. There's nobody to listen to me. So back to Jennifer Pan. Because she was getting a lot of pressure from her parents and everything, she was dating the wrong guy. The guy was dealing drugs and everything. And this is why I don't know what this girl was thinking. I've been African a long time ago. There are 4 type of people I'm supposed to be with: doctors, lawyers, economics, business people, and engineers. Besides those 5 professions, the other profession does not exist. I did not know about the other professions until I was in high school. Until I was in high school, I did not know the other professions. No wonder why I never dated, because the schools that I went to, the likeliness of having doctors and lawyers was slim. They were very slim. So I'm like, there's no way I'm going to take you to my mama's house and introduce you, and you don't even know if you're going to go to college. That does not exist in any immigrant's house. So I don't know why she thought it would be a good idea for her parents to even hear she was dating a drug dealer who was working at a pizzeria. Y'all, this is where she went wrong. There is no way in hell. My first boyfriend, my ex, I think when I dated him, it was for a social experiment that I was trying to do for myself. I was trying to be open-minded to dating somebody who I did not imagine dating. Because again, like I said, you are bombarded with ideas that you have to be better. And the way you can be good and better and everything is to also have a better partner. And having a better partner, having somebody with a noble job, with high-paying job. I have never heard of any other profession outside of the 5 that I have listed. So when I met my ex, I was like, oh, let's see if I can, break that mindset. He beautifully helped me now break that mindset. I was like, oh yeah, I need a college educated person. Never mind. Because he did a lot of stuff that was so dumb, so low vibration. I was like, you know what? My mama's correct. Let me go look for the doctors, the lawyers, and everything. So she's in a bad relationship with this drug dealer. And her parents are like, this is not going to fly. And not only that, she had pressure because she wasn't an excelling student at school. So she used to lie on her report card. And y'all don't even understand how report cards were serious in my house. Or serious in any immigrant house. Somebody asked me, what would have happened to me if I ever got a C? And I answered them, I was like, I didn't even know I had an option to get a C. First of all, I didn't even think I had an option to get a B. When I got a B, most time I got Bs were for gym class. For my core classes, I could not go home with a B. I don't even want to know what would happen. A C has never been an option in my life. It has never been an option in my life to even think about getting a C. I was those students that homework was due on Friday. We were given homework on Monday. It was due on Friday. I gave it on Monday by lunchtime. I gave it on Monday by lunchtime or before the bell rang to go home. Because there was no way that I was going to go home and tell my mama the homework is due on Friday, but I'm going to wait until Thursday to do it. She was going to cuss me out. There's no way. I used to be like, hey, Mom. She'd be like, where's your homework? Oh, Mom, I did my homework and everything. And then she would be like, didn't you ask for another homework? She's like, didn't you ask for another one? No, the one that was done for the week, that's what I did, Mom. She's like, okay, fine. Next time, ask for extra work. That's the type of immigrant family I come from. I could not even fathom submitting my homework on Fridays. If I submitted it on Fridays, then I was struggling with it. And if I told my mother I was struggling with it, go back to your teacher and let her explain it to you until you get it. That's the immigrant family I came from. So this girl not being able to be good at school to an immigrant parent, that's a problem. That's a problem. And I honestly wish like my American friends who are non-immigrants or who have lived in America for a long time will understand the pressure of that. Because kids will tease you about like, oh yeah, you're trying to be a teacher's pet. You're trying to be like a goody two-shoes. They will make fun of you, but they don't understand the pressure that you are under. They don't understand how you are constantly being told that you are carrying the weight of your family. They don't get to hear every single day of how you should be thankful because there are other people back home who don't have what you're having. They don't understand the weight of constantly operating through survivor's remorse. They don't understand that. They don't get it. Like, they say people are allowed to make mistakes. I never thought that I was one of those people, like that I could be included in the masses that could make mistake. Because if I made a mistake, oh Lord, the whole family knew about it. I'll be belittled. How can you be so dumb? How can you do this? That's why I had to work on stop blaming myself. Like, I remember when I went to therapy and my therapist asked me, what do you want to work on? I told her, I want to work on being human, to understand that I'm a human being and I am allowed to make mistakes. And I remember that one white woman started crying because I was like, I feel like when other people are allowed to make a mistake, but not me. And I feel like I'm being robbed of being a human being. I'm being robbed of having a normal human, normal human life course. Because it's so hard to dot all your T's and put all your I's and cross all your T's. Guys, I told you that I'm fasting, so my brain is a little bit foggy. But cross all your T's and put your I's. Y'all don't understand the struggle of that. And because of survivor remorse, you accept a lot of bad things. You accept people to mistreat you. You just, because they must be going through a bad day. Because you are the one that have to acknowledge that they must be going through a bad day. You are not given the privilege or the grace to even have a bad day. So, this is not to defend this girl, because we don't defend killing your parents, even though they were strict. But y'all, I want you to understand the psyche of that. So next time you have an immigrant in your workplace or your work, and they are overdoing things because they want to be better, because they want to perform better, They're not trying to do that to be better than you. They're not trying to be the teacher's pet. They're not trying to be picked favorite by the supervisor. That they are not really doing that for the acknowledgement or the praise. They're doing that because it has been innate in them and they cannot help themselves. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of understanding. So whenever you meet an immigrant, whether it be a child or not, just understand the psyche of what it's like to be in a country that's not yours and how you're navigating through it when you're constantly operating on survivor's remorse. I will tell you a funny story. So my first Chinese exam, I had 102 over 100, right? That's because I got the extra bonus points. My second Chinese exam, my professor looked at me. She's like, your exam wasn't that bad. Oh my God, I started peeing on myself. I was like, wasn't that bad? Like the fact that she doesn't want to give it to me. She's like, oh yeah, come to my office. I'm going to give you back your exam. Guys, my heart was literally to my knees. I'm like, oh my God, did I get my first C in college? My GPA, Lord. Oh my Jesus, Lord, what is going to happen, right? I cannot have a bad grade on my GPA. I started college with a 4.0, blah, 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 and everything. I go to her office. Do you want to guess what I got on my second Chinese exam? The one that she said, it wasn't that bad, but it could have been better. Do you want to know how much I got? This Chinese lady looked at me and she gave me back my test and I got a 98%. I got a 98 out of 100. That's what she called, I need to do better next time. When I came back, me and my immigrant friends, we understood. We understood what was going on. We understood that she was an immigrant. Because we are used to that. My American friends were like, but that's still an A. I'm like, yeah. So we started a joke that every time we got our test back, we would say, is it American fail or Chinese fail? Because if it's Chinese fail, you're like below 100, but you're still in the 90s. But if it's American fail, you are in the 70s or 60s. That became the joke that we had because we were just like, and so like I had this other Asian American friend. She came to me and then she's like, oh girl, I failed my test. So I told her, I'm like, Chinese fail or American fail? She's like, girl, I Chinese failed my test and I American failed my test. And that became the little joke that we would have throughout college because the pressure is real. It is so real. And like I've heard a story of somebody killing them, like a college student killing themselves because they didn't want to show their report cards to their parents. And people were like, oh my God, that's so stupid. That's so stupid. And I'm just like, unless you go through that, you will never understand. You will never understand the psyche. So please, guys, just be mindful, be gracious, because you never know what it's like to be in an environment where you just feel like you have to be better and you don't have an outlet to help you. So please be kind. All right, y'all. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Bye-bye.